gadgets and gizmos, new trends and windows, from circuits to code. Feel the tech explode. Tech birthdays the day. Patrick shows the way. Community is delight. Tech news shining bright. Every Thursday night, techno shining bright. West Limerick's own pride, Patrick as our guide.
Hello there, and you're very welcome to Tech Thursday. This is Patrick Sheehan. I'm going to be with you for the next hour or so, looking at all the latest in tech and answering any questions you might have. And to start off with today, we have a question from a Kerry listener, and she wants to know about the new Nintendo Switch. Any information? It's just after being released, so people are looking out to pick one up if they can. And she wants to know about any information we have on it and what's the specs and everything like that. I remember I did a bit about it a couple of weeks ago when they released some of the specs, and I was a little bit disappointed it didn't have an OLED screen, which I expected any kind of modern console or anything like that comes with a screen to have an OLED screen. So I was a bit surprised like that. But let's have a look at some of the specs. And Nintendo's long-awaited Switch 2 console is gone on sale, but the device is in short supply because of pent-up demand. Its arrival comes 8 years after the original Switch launched. The new version boasts a larger screen with improved graphics, but there's been criticism of the cost of games, with Mario Kart World selling for €89. Very expensive. The launch Switch 2 is here, all of the launch news. After a long-awaited, filled with leaks, reveals, pre-order stress and hands-on events, the Nintendo Switch 2's launch has finally arrived around the world, including launch events at retailers like Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy and Target, all US game stores, and I presume all the ones here as well. And Nintendo's next console looks like a worthy successor to the original, and it has a lot of games to play on day one, including the brand new Mario Kart World and upgrades to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. The Switch 2 also has new software features like Discord-like game chat, which could make it easier to trash talk your friends. There are new accessories too, including an improved Pro controller. Now that the Switch 2 is finally getting into people's hands, if you don't have a pre-order secured, we have some advice on where to look on day one. And we can dive into what it's like to actually have the console in our homes and in our bags. And of course, there was lots of games to play. Final score 2 hours to Switch pre-order pickups. I got in line shortly after 9 p.m. So this is someone's that lined up trying to get one. And the very last customers in line were about. So this was a Best Buy in the US. So I'll scroll down a bit. Delighted. Dogs have arrived in the Switch 2 line. So this is someone's experience of lining up on the verge. The Switch 2 is here. Nintendo's latest console launches in the US. LCD display, 7.9. So the display is bigger, but it's LCD, which is not as good as OLED. But it's, I suppose, to keep the price down. It's still €449 though. So, and an all-new racing title in the form of Mario Kart World pre-orders for the $449 hybrid console sold out ahead of launch. If you're looking to grab one now, rest assured that a handful of retailers have announced availability both in-store and online. How long will it take to get one? If you've got the first wave of buyers, you'll be willing to spend, but you're willing to spend $449 or more to get a Switch 2 soon, it could be tricky. Bloomberg, if you're not willing to spend more, so they'll be trying to resell them. People will be selling them for $600 and $800, trying to make a few quid out of it. But no, wait and get the proper one from the store. Are people lined up for the Switch 2 near you? So this is all just kind of going down along it. Cyberpunk 2077 running on the real Switch 2, confirmed during Nintendo's Direct event in April. And now live on an actual Switch 2. CD Projekt Red has confirmed with voiceover packs and subtitles are included with the game versus available for free. I don't know what that means. Download if needed. But seeing it running in docked mode gives us an idea of the actual performance and quality throughout the game's intro mission, which is miles ahead of where it was at launch a few years ago. This YouTube video from Game Riot. So Game Riot has a video of Cyberpunk 2077 on the Switch 2. So all the videos have been released by the YouTubers and everything. I actually just went in to see the actual tech specs there. So let's see. Approximately 4.5 inches tall, 10.7 inches wide, 55 inches thick, with Joy-Con 2 controllers attached. The maximum thickness from the tip of the control sticks to the protruding parts of the ZL and ZR buttons is 1.2 inches. Approximately 0.88 pounds, approximately 1.18 pounds with a Joy-Con 2 controller, with the Joy-Con 2 controllers attached. Capacitive touchscreen, 7.9 inch wide color gamut, LCD screen, 1920 by 1080, so full HD. It's not 4K either, so it's just full HD. HDR10 support, which is good. VRR up to 120 Hz, variable refresh rate, so it can vary the refresh rate to save you a bit of battery and to give you the best picture quality possible. Custom processor made by NVIDIA. 256 GB of storage. A portion of the storage is reserved for use by the system. So, but it's 256 total. Wireless LAN, so it has Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth. In TV mode, Nintendo Switch 2 can be connected using wireless LAN, so you can plug internet cable in the back of it when it's in TV mode. Maximum via HDMI connector in TV mode, maximum 3840 by 2160 4K resolution at 60 frames per second in TV mode. When you plug it into the TV, the picture quality is better. Supports up to 120 frames per second when in 1920 by 1080 or 2560 by 1440 resolution is selected. Supports HDR10 on TV as well. Maximum 1920 by 1080 resolution in tabletop mode and handheld mode following screen resolution. Yeah, so the screen is only a 1080p screen, so that's really the letdown. It's bigger, all right, but it's not OLED. It's only full HD. It's not a 4K screen or anything like that, or even 2K. Supports linear PCM output 5.1 channel, so you can have surround sound and things like that. For audio, output via HDMI connector in TV mode. Surround sound effect can be applied when outputting to headphones, or a built-in speaker surround effect when outputting to a built-in speaker requires a system update. Speakers that are built in. The independent enclosure structures provides natural clear stereo sound. Built-in microphone, mono microphone. Now it has noise cancellation, echo cancellation, and auto gain control to provide a more comfortable voice chat experience. Power button, volume button, 2 USB-C connectors. The port on the bottom is used to charge the console and connect to the Nintendo Switch 2 dock, and the port on top is used to connect accessories and or to charge the console. 3.5mm 4-contact stereo mini plug audio jack. Please note, Nintendo cannot guarantee functionality with all products. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it mightn't work with every headphone and everything like that. But it has a jack anyway, so that's good. Game card slot. Both Nintendo Switch 2 games and Nintendo Switch games cards can be inserted, so you can play the old games on it as well. Compatible with micro SD express cards only up to 2 terabytes. So you can put up to 2 terabyte of micro SD into it, so that's very good. Micro SD memory cards that are not compatible with micro SD Express can only be used to copy screenshots and videos from Nintendo Switch. Sensors, it has an accelerometer, gyroscope, and mouse sensor located in the Joy-Con 2 controllers. Brightness sensor located in the console. Operating environment 41 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So internal battery, lithium, so it has a 5220 milliamp hour battery, and the battery life is between 2 and 6.5 hours. Battery life will depend on the games you play. Charging time approximately 3 hours while the system is in sleep mode. So that's and it is a little bit about the dock. 4.5 inches tall, 7.9 inches wide, approximately 0.84 pounds. 2 USB ports, system connector, AC adapter, HDMI port, and LAN port for your internet. So that's some of the specs. So that's a little bit about the console, and we'll have a look at some of the launch games that are coming with it. Here's a list of all 23 Switch launch games, so we can have a look at the launch games. Released the long-awaited next-generation Nintendo console. Complete day one launch game. So we have Mario Kart World, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Sonic X Shadow Generations. Split Fiction. Street Fighter 6 Years 1-2 Fighters Edition. 1-2 Fighters Edition, Bravely Default, Flying Fairy HD Remaster, Deltarune, Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition, Hogwarts Legacy, Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, Fortnite, Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, Rune Factory, Guardians of Asuma Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer, Fast Fusion, Kunitsu Gami Path of the Goddess, Sid Meier's Civilization 7 VII 7, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster for Nintendo Switch 2, Survival Kids, and Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. So that's all the 23 launch titles, enough to keep people busy. So that's a little bit about the Nintendo Switch 2, if you're thinking about getting one or something like that. That's a little bit about the specs of the Nintendo Switch 2. And overall looks a pretty nice console. Let's have a look at some of the latest in tech. Deliveroo has launched drone deliveries in Dublin. Over the coming days, customers in Blanchardstown in Dublin will be able to order from local restaurants, with plans to launch groceries and retail drop-offs within the next 6 months. It's the first time the platform has offered drone delivery for its customers anywhere in the world. Business correspondent Joe Lynham says they'll be testing the service over the next few weeks. Let's see what he had to say.
Deliveroo have signed a deal with the Irish drone delivery company Manna, as in manna from heaven, and they're going to be delivering goods in the Blanchardstown area with a radius of 3 kilometres. So they're going to do some test drones to deliver food from restaurants.
That's very interesting. I suppose you'll avoid all the traffic and everything like that, unless it's airport traffic. But yeah, so that's the new world we're living in now. Drone deliveries dropping off your food. So I suppose it can get from the restaurant to you very quickly, so it'll be nice and warm and everything. But yeah, that's Deliveroo first deliveries. They've been doing it in the US for a while. Different companies, I said Amazon were even trialing it, and loads of different companies were trying it out. Drone delivery, so it's the first I've heard of it now in Ireland as well, so that's pretty cool. Efforts to reduce the waiting times for driving tests appear to be working already. The Road Safety Authority introduced new measures last month, including making test times available at weekends and on bank holidays. The RSA says that already since the 31st of May, the average national waiting time for a test has fallen from 22 weeks to 20.6 weeks. That's down from 27 weeks in April. So it's starting to take effect. There's a call for free sunscreen dispensers to be rolled out nationwide. It's an effort to normalise usage of protection and increase awareness of skin cancer. Eileen Brown, a Fine Gael councillor for Cork County Council, says it's an easy service to introduce. Let's see what you had to say.
I'd like to see them in every public building. It's an ideal way to help normalise the use of sunscreen. and make it part of everyone's everyday life. I mean, if you think about before COVID, nobody ever really thought much about hand sanitizers. And within, I'd say overnight, we saw hand sanitizer dispensers appearing everywhere and people using them.
We don't always have the sunniest days in Ireland, but, even on days that aren't the brightest sun, you can still get sunburned. I was out on a boat before fishing, and it wasn't even that bright, that sunny or anything, but just the wind itself. But I got badly sunburned. I didn't put on any sunscreen because it wasn't that hot. But just standing there all day and the sea air and the wind and everything like that. And I got home that night and my back of my neck was all burned and everything like that. So it can happen, even on the non-sunny days. So and about having dispensers of a sunscreen, but it has to be, I suppose, the safer sunscreen, because there's reviews in of sunscreens with chemicals in them and stuff like that are actually not good for you. So that's another thing to watch out for, is to make sure you get the kind of the healthier sunscreen that doesn't have the wrong chemicals. And maybe I'll look into that someday and do a little bit about it, but I was reading about it before. Dating show Blind Date is making a comeback. It's 22 years since Cilla Black last hosted the iconic programme, but Disney Plus is creating a reboot. It's expected producers will choose another female host, with Claudia Winkleman, Davina McCall and Holly Willoughby all in the running. The original Blind Date on ITV regularly attracted 18 million viewers. So it'll be hoping for the same. If you're getting Botox to look more attractive, smiling is actually more effective. A new research has found that smiling has 6 times the effectiveness of Botox in perceived attractiveness. The study was conducted in the Netherlands using 114 participants, graded by 3,000 people. So a smile is more valuable than Botox. Parents are losing 15 days a year trying to get their young child to sleep. A survey by CBeebies found 2/3 of parents say, I thought CBeebies was a children's TV channel. Maybe it is, and they're doing surveys as well. Found 2/3 of parents say their kids' sleep routine disrupted their own rest at least once a week, with 1 in 8 saying it happens every evening. 40% of parents get between 3 and 5 hours of sleep at night. Some of the methods parents say they use to get their child to sleep include playing heavy metal music, sleeping in the bedroom doorway, purring like a cat, or recording business meetings for bedtime stories. That's gas. Women taking weight loss injections are being warned to use effective contraception. There are concerns the likes of Mounjaro, Wegovy and Ozempic can reduce the effectiveness of the pill. Regulators in the UK also say that those who are pregnant, trying for a baby or breastfeeding should stop using the jabs, as it's not known if they could harm unborn babies. So they're not 100% sure about that. So with those, and they're so popular at the moment, those weight loss medications. Those with tracker mortgages are in for a boost today. The European Central Bank is expected to slash interest rates again. While it's good for those with certain types of home loan, it's bad news for anyone with savings or investments on deposits, as it'll mean they'll get less interest. Chief economist with IBEC, Gerard Brady, says continued global uncertainty means there could be more rate cuts in the months ahead.
So long as there's a lot of uncertainty around investment decisions, so long as there is a lot of challenge in terms of tariffs and costs on the business side, you're more likely to continue to see slowing economic activity globally and in the Eurozone, and that will lead to continued decreases, but probably in a more cautious way.
Okay, so interest rates are coming down a bit, so it's good for people with tracker mortgages at the moment. So hopefully they'll cut the interest rates another bit again, and it'll help people. But it's on the other side. Then, if you're trying to get interest in your savings, it's not as good. Chocolate digestives are people's favourite biscuits to dunk in their tea. They're my least favourite. 36% say the milk chocolate digestive is their number one dunking choice, followed by shortbread. I like shortbread, all right, and custard creams. Yeah, they're probably my second favourite. I think Jersey creams were my favourite because the custard creams have a tendency they can break sometimes, but the Jersey creams had like a harder biscuit but actually tasted nicer and had the same filling, so that they were my favourite, if I remember right, years ago. 1 in 5 say dark chocolate digestives, Jaffa cakes and milk chocolate hobnobs are the best to dip into a cup of tea. Yeah, hobnobs were nice, alright. I haven't had them in a long time. The survey by McVitie's also featured bourbon creams. Yeah, they're nice as well. Ginger nuts, wasn't as much of a fan. I actually am not a big fan of ginger, but my wife last day we were at this market and she bought me a shot of ginger, like literally blended ginger. Oh my god, it burns your throat, but it's good for you though, I suppose. It's fairly for a person that's not a big fan of ginger to just drink straight just shot of ginger was original digestives and rich tea biscuits are on the top 10 list. What would be my number one? I suppose the Jersey creams or the bourbon creams as well. You can't go wrong with chocolate biscuits. Nintendo's long-awaited Switch. Yeah, so we had that already. Meta's reportedly shopping for exclusive content on its upcoming VR headset. So they have another upcoming VR headset. The Wall Street Journal reports Meta is courting Disney and A24 to rival Apple's Vision Pro. So the Wall Street Journal reports Meta is in talks with Disney and A24 to try to secure exclusive streaming content for a new headset it's developing. Wall Street Journal says Meta's new device is a glasses-like headset codenamed Loma, with an external puck you slip into your pocket. Meta is reportedly seeking new and existing licensed content that could be exclusive to its platform on VR as timed exclusives. Oh yeah, that puck. Oh yeah, so it'll be exclusive with them for a while and then on other consoles. The puck design sounds like Meta's recently rumored Puffin headset, which is reportedly in development and could succeed the Quest 3. Quest 3S VR headsets. Upload VR described Puffin as an extremely light, open periphery headset with a tethered compute puck. And Loma could well be Puffin or become it at some point. Meta's own Andrew Bosworth has said publicly that Meta has various prototypes in development at all times, including ones that never see the light of day. And after the Wall Street Journal published its report on Wednesday, he reposted his statement about prototypes from last autumn that adds stories based on chatter about one individual decision will never give the real picture. Puffin, Loma or other similar options could be in one of the prototyping stages Bosworth discussed with the Verge's own Alex Heath last October. Either way, Wall Street Journal mentions Meta's plan for Loma would set a price that's more than $300 starting price for the Quest, but less than $3,500 based on the Apple Vision Pro. So somewhere in the middle of that, between 300 and 3,500 quid. So yeah, that's a bit vague, but I suppose it's a good idea though, I suppose. Or what would be more ideal is instead of using a puck or something that you can have an app on your phone that would connect to it and stream the information to it. But I suppose that puck is like the connector. But I don't know. It'll probably eventually end up on a phone like that or something. Industry welcomes first wave of pensioner gamers. Companies in the east of England are preparing to welcome the first generation of pensioner gamers, more than half a century after the first home video game hit the market. People who have grown up playing games are hungry for new, more sophisticated games, which has promoted startups in places including Norwich to compete with more established companies like Jagex, Ninja Theory and Frontier Developments, all based in Cambridge. Nick Poole, chief executive of Ukie, a trade body representing the UK's gaming industry, said, "It's been the most incredible 50 years. We're about to see the first ever generation of pensioner gamers. It's amazing." So, the first gamers now are becoming pensioners. So, yeah, It's amazing how time flies. I remember even growing up, I'm not a pensioner, but I remember even growing up going to my aunt and uncle's house, and they had like one of the really old consoles, and they used to plug it into the TV for us when we came, and we had no computer games that time, so it was like Pong on it or something. We thought it was the best thing ever. We thought it was so state of the art and everything, but they had we used to plug in that Pong game and play it. It was great crack. I presume it was, I don't know what it was, maybe an old Atari or something like that. So at $349, AMD's 16 GB Radeon RX 9060 XT is the new mid-range GPU to beat. The price is real. If that price is real, then it's a great deal. If it's not real, it depends. So there's a picture of it. And now most of NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 50 series graphics cards have been released. It's clear that they gave AMD and Intel their best opportunity to claw back some market share and make the dedicated graphics card business a little less lopsided. It's not that the 50 series GPUs have been bad cards, but a focus on sometimes useful, sometimes not AI generated frames and lack of major manufacturing advancements relative to the 40 series have eroded NVIDIA's usual lead in performance and power efficiency. That's the advantage AMD is trying to press with the new Radeon RX 9060 XT graphics cards, which at $299 and $349 for the 8GB or 16GB are both priced and configured to comprehensively undercut NVIDIA's RTX 5060 and 5060 Ti, as with the RTX 9070 series earlier this year. The RNA 4 architecture goes a long way towards addressing the RX 6000 and RX 7000 series lackluster ray tracing performance and mediocre power efficiency, and relatively affordable 16GB version will help insulate buyers from the RAM limitations that are slowly but surely becoming more of a problem for 8GB cards. With the usual 2025 GPU caveat, the difference between a good GPU and a bad one is whether you can actually find one and buy it for anything close to the list price. Let's dive into the few genuinely exciting mid-range GPUs that we've gotten in a while. So RTX 9070, Compute 64, or in RDNA 4. So it gives some of the specs there. Anyway, between the RX 9070 XT, RX 9070, RX 9060 XT, and RX 7600 XT and RX 7600. So yeah, between 8 and 16 gig of RAM, all of them. So they're all the mid-range ones. On paper, the 9060 XT series looks a lot like last generation's RX 7600 and RX 7600 XT. All of those GPUs have 32 of AMD's compute units, and all are connected to either 8 gig or 16 gig of GDDR6 via a 128-bit memory interface. But AMD says each RDNA4 CU is more and more capable than in previous architectures. With the 1970 series, when the 9070 series was introduced, AMD said that the RDNA4 CU could why do they have these numbers? Anyway, could render roughly twice as fast as the RDNA2 CU, or 2.5 times faster for ray tracing workloads. So the new ones are better at their jobs. So that's what they're saying. Belkin's new line of Switch 2 accessories include a simple but effective charging case. So if you're looking at your Switch 2 or you just ordered and you want to get some accessories, Belkin has a few different ones. The veteran accessory maker is also offering a travel case and screen protectors. So you can, I see a picture of someone playing it. It's just sitting in its case, kind of tilted up, and they're using a controller like an Xbox controller. Belkin is best known for high-quality smartphone accessories, but just like everyone else, it appears it has a case for Nintendo Switch 2 and a case of Nintendo Switch 2 fever. The company has announced that it will be selling several Switch 2 accessories in time for the console launch, including screen protectors and a charging case that comes with a power bank. The charging case for Switch 2 is the thicker of Belkin's two case options, primarily because it has a designated spot for an included 10K external battery. The case also includes a flap for storing Switch 2 games cartridges, a hidden pocket for slotting an AirTag so you can track the case if it's lost, and slots on either side of the battery for cables and other accessories. When you need to prop up your Switch 2 with its kickstand while it's charging, there's also a groove in the case that's specifically designed to hold it. So they thought of everything, in fairness. If you're looking for something more compact and portable, the travel case for Nintendo Switch 2 is only moderately thicker than the console itself. Like the charging case, the travel case also includes a built-in sleeve for Switch 2 games cartridges and a spot to hide an AirTag. It also has a built-in handle and a wrist strap, so you have multiple ways to carry it when you're out and about. For an extra layer of protection, Belkin is also selling 2 different screen protectors, a tempered glass anti-reflective screen protector and a tempered glass blue light screen protector. Both will shield your Switch 2's screen from major scratches and can be applied in a few steps. All of Belkin's new accessories are on Amazon. So very good. Some accessories for your Switch 2. 007's First Light reveals new young James Bond with The Walking Dead's Lenny James set to co-star. Today's PlayStation State of Play broadcast has provided our first proper look at 007's First Light, the upcoming James Bond game from Hitman Studio IO Interactive that's due to launch in 2026. A cinematic trailer for the game showcased a fresh-faced James Bond at the beginning of his career as an agent who joins MI6 and meets new versions of classic characters M, Q and Moneypenny. The trailer also revealed the involvement of The Walking Dead's Lenny James, who will portray Bond's mentor John Greenway in the game. 007 First Light trailer revealed this incarnation of James Bond was involved in a childhood tragedy that left him as an orphan aged 11, after which he spent the rest of his childhood in various British boarding schools. We later see Bond as a young recruit in the Royal Navy, from which he is recruited by MI6. It's here that players pick up Bond's story as he becomes an agent, picks up an Omega watch, and starts annoying Q by trying out his gadgets in the lab. A press release issued alongside the game's State of Play appearance lists Bond's age in 007 First Light as a young 26-year-old. Players will traverse the globe in what is described as a story-driven action-adventure game, where you can choose how to navigate various challenges either with brute force or 007's trademark charm. This sounds really good. I hope it's kind of playability like Uncharted or Tomb Raider or kind of Ghost of Tsushima, kind of open world, kind of, or that kind of playability. I hope it's like that. What looks like gameplay footage shows James Bond on a mission, stealthing around using gadgets and his fists to subdue enemies. As the hero is sent off to target a rogue agent, 009 is a master manipulator, Greenway says at one point. Whatever the end game is, we won't see it coming. Oh, and yes, you can dress up in disguises you can expect from the Hitman Studio. So this sounds very interesting. It'll be released next year. It was first announced back in 2020 as Project 007. And since then, we've learned little about it. Still, from the off, IO said that it was developing a fresh James Bond origin story and a wholly original piece of work. So that sounds very interesting. I hope it's good now. Wise's latest smart bulb is also a camera. The Wise Bulb Cam combines surveillance with illumination, no wiring required. So, is it battery powered or solar powered or something? Wise's new security camera is attached to a light bulb. The smart home company has devised a genius, if janky looking solution to illuminating your porch or patio with light while also keeping an eye on potential prowlers. The Wise Bulb Cam 50 quid is a motion activated smart light and security camera that doesn't require any power cables or batteries and is powered by a light fixture. So you kind of screw it into a bulb fixture. According to Wyze, the specifically designed camera can be installed directly into a compatible E26 light fixture, eliminating the need to find power outlets nearby or mess with solar panels or rechargeable batteries to keep your security system up and running. So that's very handy, actually. So it can screw into it, but you can have a light with it as well. It's like there's a bulb. It's the camera and in a bulb as well, or something like that. So it looks very interesting. That's very handy. The company is also selling compatible Wyze accessory bulbs, $16.98. These dimmable 800 lumen 3000 Kelvin light bulbs are IP20 rated and can pair with the bulb cam via Bluetooth to create a motion activated smart lighting system. Both products are available on Wyze's online store. The bulb cam has the same lighting specs and its camera is motion activated. It features a 160 degree field of view, 2K resolution and wide dynamic range and color night vision. It also has two-way audio, works over 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi and offers local storage via an onboard micro SD card, sold separately up to 256 gig. The device works with Wyze's app, and company offers cloud recording starting at $3 a month, which adds smart alerts for things like people, packages and pets. I'm not a fan of the subscription service and stuff, but I like the idea though. And you can use the internal recording, so to put something there, if something happened, you can check it out with the internal one. It's compatible with Amazon Alexa, Google Home. It has an AI-powered feature, including descriptive alerts and summarise motion events. Aims to cut down on notifications, but you'll need to pay Wyze a 20 quid a month Cam Unlimited Pro subscription for that. Also. But I presume you can still use it and just use the recording and things like that for without the subscription, just where it records on the internal card. With the bulb and all on it, so it's pretty handy. This isn't Wyze's first attempt at leveraging existing outdoor lighting fixtures to power cameras. The company sells a lamp socket solution for $17 that can power a Wyze Cam V3 or V4 and turns any connected bulb into a smart bulb. The bulb cam is slightly more elegant as it does away with the wires. While there are several no-name bulb camera combos available on Amazon, very few established security companies offer this solution. Lorex recently released a 2K Wi-Fi smart light bulb camera with the camera embedded in the bulb, which looks a little less odd, but also makes for a huge light bulb. The Lorex can automatically rotate 360 degrees, whereas the Wyze Cam can only be manually adjusted. Lorex's bulb camera does cost more, 70 quid, and doesn't have the option of local recording. But if you add the price of the bulb and the camera together, it's probably not much more expensive than the Lorex one, which is a bulb built in. The downside of connecting a security camera to existing light feature is that the light is probably controlled by a switch. So you'll face the problem smart bulbs inside the house have. When someone turns off the switch, the power to the camera will be cut off as well. However, Wyze's smart bulb can be activated by motion via the camera or set on timers and to a schedule. You shouldn't need to operate them with the switch. Another issue you might run into is that a lot of exterior lighting today uses embedded LEDs and not a screw-in socket. So check yours before considering a product like this. So make sure it's compatible. And that's been Tech Thursday. It's flown as it always does. And I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, you can call 06966 or you can text or WhatsApp 087 166 9800 or email patrick102fm@gmail.com. You can watch Tech Thursday or listen. You can't watch, unfortunately, as of yet. But you can listen on any podcast platforms. It will be available if you search Tech Thursday. And I'll talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.
Drones, smartphones and unknown knowns. Tuning in for more what tech's got in store. In our little town, tech waves going round. Patrick's got the pulse, makes tech feel like a waltz.